like now there are more ways to sort of put together something for people to look at, laugh at, and enjoy. And one of the things you've become very well known for by name, from what I saw last night, is the whole Handforth Parish thing.
Yeah.
Which I guess we should. I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if we didn't talk about that a little bit. But for the few people who might not know, this is. I should probably have you describe it, but it was basically a local city council type thing, is how we would know it here. That just evolved into chaos, and you were the person to kind of condense that down into a shorter video and go, oh my God, look at what's happening in this area. So first, what's your connection to Handforth? How did you come across this? And then sort of tell that story.
Yeah, that was a crazy 24 hours. That was because it was so, it feels surreal even kind of looking back at it, because I have zero connection to this place, Handforth. I came into this as just like, it was just a regular working day job, which I was not enjoying at that particular time. And I was just like kind of like looking online. I kind of like look at this, some message boards, things like this. And someone had shared the hour and 20 minutes recorded video on Zoom of a parish council, and just said like, I know you're not going to watch this because it's an hour 20, but just honestly, just look at this. I saw it shared somewhere else on like UK politics on Reddit or something, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And it was one of those days where, naturally you see an hour 20 minutes on a video and you kind of like go, okay, no, not now, maybe later. Yeah. But I was having one of those days where I was like, I'll just put it on in the background while I'm working. Yeah. And so I did. And like 5 minutes in, already there was kind of like comments coming in that I was like, what just happened? Completely distracted from my work. In case you haven't seen it. So this is like it's when these councils, when government representatives have meetings, they're open to the public. So since this moved online, that had to move to Zoom and had to move to being like shared things, shared formats that people can access from just downloading all over the world. However, as you can imagine, with a lot of the sort of people who turn up to these sorts of things, you get some really interesting characters, some people who basically are there just because, just who are the people who turn up to these like council meetings, right? Who are the people who have the time, who have the inclination to talk about like this kind of micro politics of like whether someone's fence is 3 centimeters too far in one direction or the other. These are real like boring things usually. And as always with these sorts of things, there's so much beef that just kind of like builds up over the years or whatever, because there's the same people for, week in, week out who are just kind of all just contradicting each other, different political views, different ideologies, but sure enough, they've got ideologies. Mm-hmm. So this video comes out, it's an hour 20. And like, even with all of this really boring context, it was just like so damn hilarious. And I was like 5 minutes in, and lucky, because this is the thing, like who has the patience to get 5 minutes into a video nowadays? And I was like, and I was hooked, and I was like, oh my God, okay. So I stopped and started watching it, and I was watching more and more. And it was like so good that, it's like a live stream. I was kind of like, posting things as I was getting. It's like, 24 minutes in, oh my God, can you believe they said this? And I got to the end, like I did the whole like 80 minutes of it. And then I was like, my immediate reaction was like, my friends need to see this, and people need to see this. Yeah. But simultaneously, I was like, I'm going to share. Oh, wait, who the hell is going to watch an hour 20 video? If I, there's no way that I've got enough good grace with any of my friends to say like, hey, stop what you're doing and watch this feature-length film of a council meeting to see if it may interest you. So I was like, okay, I know. I'll edit it down. I do a little bit of video editing because it'll be easy enough. And just like with all of these things, you start and then it just takes you a lot longer than you think. I shared it online, shared it with some people I knew, shared it with some friends, and and it just blew up. It was like I literally had just edited this down to share with people I knew put it onto a few places anyway, because I was kind of, like, shit, this took me like 2 hours. Come on.
Right,
And like,
yeah. Let's ride this wave a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's at least kind of share it in some other place to see what happens. But yeah, so then like I had like CNN, the BBC, I had like all sorts of media networks kind of like emailing me, contacting me, asking what I would, all of these sorts of things of like, how do you relate to this? Where did you find this? What happened? Give me the whole story. I was getting phone calls then if I like, because it was, and every single one as well is this core thing of kind of like the massive disappointment when they kind of like, oh, so you're just like, regular internet like surfing guy who
just a viewer. Yeah.
Yeah, just a viewer who just like for some reason like really put a lot of effort into this. But yeah, it just got so big for that time as well, because also the fact that I was suddenly getting so like, because I was getting the attention to other things that I'd uploaded online. There was like this microcosm of time where I suddenly got so paranoid that like, I'm like in the spotlight now, even though all I am is the guy who uploaded this to YouTube. And it's amazing how many like little things would happen, like, DMs on Twitter, YouTube comments on things which like had no relation to this whatsoever.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I look back and it's like, it was no big deal. It all kind of was finished as quickly as it happened. But there was a period of time there where I was just like, oh my God, what do I have online? It's like, what else are they going to find? What is happening? Like this attention was like seriously like ridiculous and excessive. And then, and now it's so weird as well, because some of the people from that video in the UK are like, they've got like one of them's written a book that's been published. One of them's like on most TV channels in the UK. Some of the people who shared the tweets, they kind of like were interviewed and stuff. And it's just such a weird like story, full stop. But yeah, it was definitely but the main thing is though, it was funny. That video is funny. And
the video is. Right, it's extremely funny. You need zero context, zero background just to watch the short version of this unfold. Which, for reference, viral. When I say that, we're talking about 3.3 million views on YouTube right now. I read about it in the Washington Post. The Guardian called you an activist, which I was like, I didn't know if this was just a funny thing. Like, is he from there? And I'm sure that's what you mean when you say a lot of people were sort of disappointed, like, oh, you just found this.
Yeah.
Which I don't, that didn't hurt my enjoyment of this at all. It was still very funny. But yeah, the ripples this caused, like you said, is crazy. The main lady who came in to sort of take care of the meeting and stuff, they were talking about how Andrew Lloyd Webber played a song for her at a an event, and people are talking about book deals and stuff. It's so funny that it's kind of nice. People who are online like us, making content, doing our best, grinding away at stuff, trying to bring some enjoyment to whoever it is, whatever the audience is, when suddenly that turns into something that's like, oh, this had a positive effect. This wasn't just like, this started as a fun and very funny thing, but I hear that also helped maybe shine a light on some local politics in a place where maybe it needed to be shown, I don't know how many times a person can expect to be involved in something like that, but I think you really hit the jackpot. And if it wasn't too painful for you, once that spotlight was on you a little bit, I'm glad to hear it. Like, that seemed like a good opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like the result of it in the end was all positive. It's just that moment when I was kind of worried about what direction it would take. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Because you do so many sort of things, certain things that you put like loads of time and effort into, things which you think are good, or et cetera, et cetera. And then when something like this happens and you kind of like just go, oh, so now I'm the Handforth Parish Council guy. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this,
Yeah.
It's like, that was 2 hours this morning, and now suddenly this is the reason that people are reaching out to me. Ah, cool. It is what it is. But it's all, but yeah, it's one of those things though, isn't it? It's kind of like you just you're not in control. You're in control
Yeah.
so little with these sorts of things. It's just about like just putting yourself out there, just trying different things and seeing what sticks, and just make sure that everything that you do, you're happy with, because you never know the thing that people are going to latch onto.